To the process. It is Tuesday, March 22nd, and we are here to break down all 6 games. A nice, calm, I hope, Tuesday slate. I hope everybody was able to find some success yesterday, or at least not have too many losses. That's usually the plan. Nothing crazy for me. I wish I had something fun to talk about, but I don't. Go Drew Holiday, though. That was a real fun one to have. Happy to see everybody here. We got a nice little crowd so far in chat. Love seeing you guys in the morning. So good morning. Cheers to you all. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. We got a ton of content coming up today, so feel free to hit the like and make me feel good. Let's see. Did I delete that? It looks like I did. Where did I save that? That's the better question. I gotta put a banner up, and now I don't remember where I put it, which is not totally ideal. Did I put it in the right spot? I did. Nice. I'll slide that over there. Shout out to Monkey Knife Fight. Use the promo code Awesemo. Get yourself a $100 instant deposit match up to $50. I can't talk. It's because I haven't had my coffee yet. See, I shouldn't have done that read. I should have waited until like 7 o'clock because I would have been functionally a little bit better in doing that. But it's fine. We're going to get started. We're off to a doozy. Brooklyn, not going to be a fun team to talk about, but, you know, we will get into it. I was looking at my So Rare team. There we go. Okay, well, we got to dive in. 6 games. It's kind of a perfect slate to me. Will allow me to both play DFS and likely cook dinner tonight. So I think there'll be some happiness in my house. Let's get it started, though. Thanks for being here, everybody. A lovely Tuesday. We'll probably here's the deal. We're probably gonna have a little bit of a lighter crowd. Less games usually means less viewership. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. So for the people that are here, it's going to be very important that you hit that thumbs up so we can get to 100 likes. We could run some crunches and do all that good stuff. I'm on the strategy show today, but no live before lock. Laffy and I will be live at 10 o'clock. Tom, morning. Andres, good morning. Philip, good morning. Good morning to everybody. Let's get into Brooklyn. And Kyrie is out for the next 3 games. We know Durant is out. No Landry Shamet. Alize Johnson still not available. And James Harden, questionable with neck soreness. Now, we're going to be projecting James Harden to be in this game. We don't really have much of a choice. But if James Harden doesn't play, we are going to be playing quite a bit of the Brooklyn Nets in the late night hammer. The problem is, it's the late night hammer. Brooklyn going off 10 o'clock. We should have enough places to like do some swaps and stuff, but It's going to get really interesting. Do I have a money suit? No. I like myself too much. Andres, I don't think he made a mistake leaving Wood in. That minutes limit sort of thing was a little bit vague because it didn't seem to affect John Wall going 8 of 30 from the field and playing 36 minutes. So I played a ton of Christian Wood. He was my most exposed power forward. Maybe I should have walked that back a little bit, but I didn't really trust what they were saying. Turns out it was okay for Wood and not okay for Wall. All right, so we know we've got Blake Griffin back. We know there's not going to be any Kyrie Irving. And we do have examples of that in the past, which is helpful. All those games have also had Landry Shamet, though. So I have a sneaky suspicion this is going to be a problem. Yeah, Ken. Nailed it. All right, by the way, before we get it started, I didn't even realize we haven't had any coffee yet. So get your joints, get your coffee, get your beers, whatever you guys do in the morning. Cheers. Let's have a good day. Let's win some money. God, that's glorious. All right, so first guy up, I'm guessing Tyler Johnson sees pretty significant run. With Kyrie Irving out on the 17th, he played 31 and a half minutes. I don't want to go that crazy, but I am going to give him 28. I think DeAndre Jordan at 21 is still fine. I think Nick Claxton is sort of here to stay now, and his minutes are going to need to increase, especially in a situation where they're shorthanded. So I'm going to give Nick Claxton 24. I think that's going to be a pretty regular occurrence moving forward. 3 to Jeff Green. I think Jeff Green is probably set for probably 28 as well, similar to Tyler Johnson. We're going to need to give... They're just going to be slow with Blake, so I think 18 is fine there. And then Bruce Brown is just going to play a pretty, truly crazy amount of minutes if I had to guess. Maybe 30, 28 as well, I think. Yeah, Andres, if the cash line is high because there's so much chalk, make better picks. It's the same for everybody. Just it doesn't really change anything that I'm doing. You don't know that before the fact, So I wouldn't. No, there is no real advice. You don't know what it's going to be until you get started. Maybe that changes your. So I guess I do have a piece of advice for it. It could change your late swap game. So and it depends really where the chalk lies, but if some chalk is going off early, it might behoove you to make some swaps later to get off of other guys that are highly owned for comparable plays in similar salary tiers. So like, what would be a good example? I don't know, like I don't really have a good example right now. Getting to guys that are lesser owned in the later games if chalk hits early. To be honest with you, man, the only score that matters to me is what it takes to get to, basically the first page, so top 10. I don't even notice what a cash line is. The cash line in a GPP is just going to make you sad. We have 4 minutes left over. I feel like 28 more. I feel like I have to go more than 28 for Bruce Brown, but at the same time, I'm not really comfortable with anybody that's going to be getting minutes in this game. I guess they're finally going to dust off TLC. So he only played 7 minutes though the last time, but that was also with Shamet in. So that's 16. Is there anybody else that should be getting any playing time? I mean, they haven't played anybody since March 3rd. Andre Roberson got some minutes. Chioza and Tyler Cook got blowout run. But like TLC snuck into it. Maybe this starts to happen with Kyrie out and with Shamet out. And obviously if Harden's out, all bets are off. But it wouldn't truly surprise me if TLC just played, like, I don't want to say big minutes because that's not what I mean, but like big enough minutes. But they might go to a 10th. So who's available? Yeah, I definitely need to give Joe Harris more minutes too. He played 37 minutes in that spot. So I just need to throw 5 minutes to somebody. Is Roberson really still active? Because if he is, that's what I'm gonna do. I have no idea. I don't know why I'm looking so much. Doesn't even matter. Yeah, no, that contract isn't active anymore. It doesn't really matter who I give these minutes to. I think that they're just going to give 5 minutes to someone random. You know what? Chioza's not really the worst shout. So let's do that. Rates are going to have to change pretty dramatically, so I'm just going to gut that. And let's pull new Nets data. I think we're starting with like the most tricky game of the day. Oh, here we go. Nets. So Durant, Kyrie, LeVert, Allen, Dinwiddie, LeVert, Dinwiddie. I think I got it. Is that everybody? No, it's not. What's his name? Prince. All right, that's just gonna have to be good enough. So, Bruce Brown, 13.9% usage rate in situations where these guys are on the floor. So I don't really trust that. Seems weird to me. It also seems weird to me that Harden's the only one that ends up with any sort of legitimate usage rate. Oh, let's take Shamet off too. Not that that matters. I could probably leave Shamet on. In fact, I probably should leave Shamet on. Yeah, I'm going to leave Shamet on. You know what? I'm actually going to leave Karis LeVert on as well. At least as a mild proxy for Harden. All right, so yeah, Bruce Brown can stay at his own usage rate. That makes a little bit more sense. Harden, 33.4. Assist rate of 15%. Massive. Rebounding rate gets the 10. That looks good. Joe Harris, 17.5% usage. Nick Claxton has a 20% usage rate in 128 minutes, so I can't go too crazy there. Now we're on to the also rans. We'll leave Blake at his normal rate. DeAndre Jordan at his normal rate. Jeff Green. Get the slight bump. Tyler Johnson will be the interesting one. Yeah, he gets no bump. How is it that no one really takes a usage bump here? This is insane. It's really insane. All right, let's take Shumpert off. Vonleh off. I just want to see who catches. Like, it doesn't appear that anyone is catching a real usage bump, which is not all that great for what we're trying to do here. Who else is grabbing stupidly high? Yeah, so everybody is just under except for Harden. I feel like this isn't calculating correctly. I don't think that's equaling out to 20%. Well, I think we're good there. So let's take a look at Brooklyn. Ah. All right. So for Brooklyn, yeah, I guess I mean, there's going to be a lot of variability here, but James Harden is unquestionably at the top of the heap. Looking like he's a better value on DraftKings at 11K. I actually have him as a better than 50-50 shot of hitting his GPP score. You just have to have him tonight. There's really no way around it. I think Bruce Brown, Claxton, and Joe Harris are all sort of viable depending on the site. A little bit more so on FanDuel than DraftKings, although Claxton is 3,900 on DK and looks a little bit better there. But I'm pretty happy with like the rates that I have in here for everybody. Bruce Brown might be a little over projected, but he's also been a fantasy point per minute guy over the last 30. Joe Harris, no real boost to me. It's just the minutes. He'll look a little bit better on FanDuel at 4,700 than he will at 5,400 on DK. As always, though, guys, we're going to have to keep our eye on news because if James Harden gets ruled out, this one gets crazy. Truly, truly crazy. All right, on to the next one. 93 viewers, 54 likes. You guys are doing a fantastic job to start. Keep those up. On to Denver now. Nuggets taking on the Orlando Magic. For the Nugs, no Gary Harris, no Monty Morris. So this one, at least, shouldn't take all that long. Campazzo minutes are super wonky. Averaging 25 since Morris has been out. As low as 19, as high as 34. It's hilarious. Murray's minutes are fine. Jokic's minutes are fine. Millsap finally saw the bump, but I don't know how true that's going to be long term. Michael Porter Jr.'s minutes are fantastic. I don't have anything I really want to change here. You know, I could conceivably give Michael Porter Jr. one more minute. Not that I don't get him enough already. All these rates should be fine, so we don't have much to do for Denver. Denver, 7.5 point favorites in Orlando. This should be a smackdown of epic proportions. We shall see, though. Yeah, no real changes I want to make here. I might have Jokic under projected, actually. Although this matchup isn't exactly a gem. No, you know what? That's probably fine. So, Jokic, Murray, Porter, as far as I'm concerned, the only three guys you could roster from Denver. That's the core. Jokic looking better on DraftKings at 10.7 than he does on FanDuel at 11K, but he looks good either way. Jamal Murray for 7,100 on DraftKings is a really, really nice price. That's a real good one. Yeah, so Harden is at the top of the heap for sure. Jokic is second on FanDuel, and then it gets really murky. But on DK, it's Harden, then Jokic, then Murray, all pretty firmly as the top three plays. What's up, Patrick? What's up, DG09G? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly or not, but it's definitely what's on the screen. Nice to have you guys here. On to the Warriors, which I assume is a disaster. Okay, so still no Steph. Looney back, Wiseman back, Pascal back. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. It's still not fun, but we've got everybody but Steph. So they're going to be truly atrocious. With Steph out, we saw Jordan Poole play 38 minutes. I don't think he does that, but 34 is certainly where we're going. Wiseman, I think 22 minutes is fine. Looney had been playing, I don't know, like 13 minutes a game, 14 minutes a game before that. We'll go to Draymond playing 12 here. To call it, we'll give him 33. I think that's a little bit more reasonable. This is not going to be a fun team to project in any way. Oh my God. All right. So Eric Pascal, before this all went down, he was playing 15, 16 minutes a game. And then we can go ahead and give minutes to who am I missing? I guess Kelly Oubre. Oubre is just going to play bigger minutes, you would think. Although it's kind of odd. Like, even with those guys out, Oubre's minutes sort of went down. Doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but I am going to give him 30. Wiggins is going to be playing, obviously, huge minutes, so I'll give him 34. So that means we have 57 minutes left to give to Damian Lee, Juan Toscano Anderson, Kent Bazemore, Nico Mannion. Mannion played 12 minutes. So I think he's just going to continue to be the straight backup. So I'm going to give him just the backup run to Jordan Poole, which means I have 43 minutes left at the 2. Damian Lee is going to have to be next in line here. I think 20 is probably the more real. 22 might be the more realistic scenario. And then is it Juan Toscano? Oh, I got to give Bazemore minutes too. There's too many dudes. All right, so Damian Lee and Bazemore. Bazemore's just going to be like 14 minutes. Damian Lee is going to get 18. And then I'm going to give 11 to Juan Toscano Anderson. This team's the worst. Truly the worst. And the worst part about it is I got to pull new rates because Steph is out. And not that he wasn't out the last time, but now we've got all these other guys back. And they're playing Philly. This is just dreadful. All right, so we'll take Steph off. That's actually probably the only guy that I need to take off, right? Nah, Marquise Chris. Not that that matters. Guys, I'm loving coffee today. So today is the final day of hole 30. And as a reward to myself for getting through the 30 days largely unscathed, I gave myself a half packet of Splenda this morning in my coffee. And let me tell you what, that has dramatically changed the taste of what I'm doing today. It's making me significantly happy. Bruce Young, thanks for all the info every morning. Finally won more than my money back. Came in 12th in the $4, $7.50. That's where it's at, man. Get that money. Congrats, Bruce. Happy to have you here, man. I hope the show is helping out at least a little bit for people. Anyway, on to Golden State. Wiggins, usage rate with no Steph, no Marquise Chris on the court, 26.5. That seems reasonable to me. Can't imagine he has any sort of other big rate jumps. Draymond, 10.5. There's no way that I'm projecting Draymond Green for 10.5% usage, so I'm gonna keep him at his normal number. Huge assist rate, though? No. Interesting. Well, I will leave him at his normal rate, that's for sure. Rebounding rate? Yeah. He's just going to hold across the board, except for increased usage. James Wiseman, 25% usage rate. Don't trust that totally, but I'll leave him at his normal rate. Jordan Poole does see a bit of a usage bump in 288 minutes. I'll give him a slight bump. Does he have a big assist bump? No. Does anybody? Does anybody share the ball when Steph is out? Or this is just hero ball. I mean, Nico Mannion? No. None of these guys? None of these guys. All right, let's look at this. Yeah, Andres, no rush for baseball as far as I'm concerned. I actually need to figure out what I'm going to be doing there. I hope it's basically nothing. I would prefer to do as much basketball as possible. So maybe we'll have that conversation sometime today. On to Golden State. Warriors at home against the Sixers. 3.5-point dogs, which honestly surprises me. That feels like it should be a little bit higher. Okay, most of these rates and all look pretty good. No one... Okay, so Jordan Poole for 5,600 on DK is the best play coming out of this game for the Warriors. I think Wiggins for 66 on DK is good. Wiggins for 6,800 on FanDuel looks okay. Draymond is solid. Oubre is solid. Wiseman is 3,700 on FanDuel. That's certainly worth a little bit of a look. As I add Golden State to the table here. We see Wiseman and Nick Claxton looking pretty similar. In general, I guess. Wiggins, okay on FanDuel, but Jordan Poole on DraftKings actually slightly ahead of Jamal Murray relative to salary. Yeah. Josh, I don't think there's much. I've mentioned it before. I don't know what we can do for a process show for baseball. I don't really believe in like manual manipulation all that much in baseball. Like, you don't need to know rotations or make any sort of predictions. It's just sort of, if this guy's hitting third for team X, I know I have an expectation of how many at bats that person's going to have, and everything just spits out from there. It's all relatively automated. I don't have to, for baseball, I don't really pay attention to anything other than the straight statistics. All right, on to the Lakers. This one probably not going to be all that fun either. So obviously no LeBron, no AD, no Marc Gasol, no Jared Dudley. Don't think I needed to say that last one. Damian Jones is gone though. He had his contract, his second 10-day expire, and they did not bring him back. Now that Gasol is back, it's not that huge of a deal. And I think that they might bring him back in the end, but that's going to be an open roster spot until after the trade deadline. Lakers. Yeah, I got to start building out. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I need to start building out my MLB workbook. There's going to be a lot of changes. Lakers. Okay. I guess I'm not going to have many things that I need to change. Well, my wife's going outside, but I need to mute my doorbell. So Schroeder played 30 minutes. I think it would be crazy to think that he doesn't do that again. I got Kuzma in for 34 minutes. I think that looks reasonable. KCP at 28, but he did play 30. Might try to get him another minute there. Markieff Morris I have in for 26. That's fine. Trez played north of 30. So I think that's going to have to be the first place I make a change. Let's give Montrezl Harrell 30 minutes. Wait, did I? Okay, so Gasol is still out. I misspoke there. Okay, that is interesting. So then now I definitely want to give 2 more minutes here. I got what is the true status on Marc Gasol? Won't play on Sunday against the Suns and could miss the. He's cleared this health and safety protocol, but he hasn't practiced yet as of the 21st. So he was out on Sunday. I mean, maybe he plays, but I don't think that he's going to play a lot. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. 7 o'clock, guys. 115 viewers, only 66 likes. I'm going to have to ask the people that are at the show now watching that haven't hit the like button to please hit that like button if you can. I don't really know what to do now with a lack of Marc Gasol in this particular matchup, but I guess it's just sort of do the same thing that they did last time. What time is this game? 7:30. Okay, we should probably have this news. So I'm going to pull Marc Gasol. I'm going to give Montrezl Harrell 32 minutes. That's going to give Keith the other 16. I'm going to say that he plays another 10 potentially alongside of him. That'll be an interesting pairing. Kuzma's minutes seem fine. Wes Matthews played 16 minutes. That makes me honestly feel like I don't have enough there. THT played 28. I'm going to give him those 28 once again. And I know Boston lost again. That was a tough one last night for them. But again, like, you know, no Kemba, no Jason Tatum. You probably shouldn't win. Alfonso McKinney got 8 minutes the last time. Kakak got some minutes. Projecting this Lakers team is not fun. I know the processed sugar is not good for me. That's why I just did 30 days a whole 30. I'm going to give Kakak 6 minutes. There we go. And then 6 for McKinney. I think we're good there. These rates should be the same, though. I shouldn't have to make any changes there. Which means we could look at the Lakers now. At the Pels, 6-point dogs. That's the word I'm looking for. So Montrezl Harrell, 7,500 on FanDuel. Looks pretty good. Montrezl Harrell, 6,800 on DraftKings. Looks great. That is a really, really nice price tag. Dennis Schroeder is 6,600 on DraftKings. Another fantastic price tag. Slightly behind Harrell, but Harrell and Schroeder on DraftKings look really good. Kuzma is pretty neutral across both sites. Talen Horton-Tucker is just a little too expensive. Jerry, no. They're not trading Jason Tatum. He's like one of the 5 most untradeable people in the league. Yeah, that's I don't even know. I hope you're not asking me that seriously. That is a truly implausible scenario. They literally have no one that they could trade him for. On to Miami. So for Miami, Q tag on Dragic, Q tag on Avery Bradley. What's wrong with Dragic? Just normal Goran Dragic stuff. He missed Sunday with a back issue. What did Ira have to say here? Nothing. Okay. Well, I mean, we're obviously just assuming that Goran Dragic plays. Kendrick Nunn minutes should be coming down. Avery Bradley still not back. Questionable. I would guess that he's not going to play before the deadline, but who knows? I guess he could. All right, we're up to 83 likes. We're climbing. We're climbing. Hero playing... yeah, none of those make sense. Yeah, so Jimmy Butler is just going to play 40 minutes, obviously. So Hero probably played 31, 34, 31, 36. Morning, Abby. 20 for Iggy. Oh, yeah. Totally forgot they have Trevor Ariza. We need to clear this filter. We need to move Trevor Ariza to Miami. And now we could actually project this. I was wondering why everything was looking all weird. Totally forgot they traded for Ariza. Great trade by them, by the way. Good stuff. All right, so Ariza played 19 minutes on the 21st. See no reason that he wouldn't do that again. I don't think that that's just a Dragic thing. Just allows you to not have to play other guys that aren't very good. So Precious's 10 minutes are just gone. They're going straight here. Kelly Olynyk played 28 minutes. I think that's fine. Man, whose minutes do I need to take from? How do I give Trevor Ariza more minutes? Izzy, I only play GPPs. Yeah, this Boston Celtics are bad narrative is truly mind-boggling to me. Marcus Smart was out for a month. They basically haven't played as a real team. What's the Celtics starting lineup? Plus minus. Curious. Walker, Brown, Tatum, Tice Thompson, no. Smart, Brown, no. I just want to see how their true starting lineup is looking. Walker, Smart, Brown, Tatum, Tice is plus 11.5 in 115 minutes. When they're healthy, they're good. When they're healthy, they're good. And they have abilities to make a move, but Jason Tatum is very clearly not going anywhere. That is impossible. Truly a 0% chance that Jason Tatum could ever be traded. I really don't know how to give Trevor Ariza more minutes, but I would like to give Trevor Ariza more minutes, and I don't know who they need to come at the expense of. It seems like it should be Kendrick Nunn. So there we go. We've got Ariza in. We've got everybody in. I could pull Nunn's rates here. It doesn't matter because we're not playing Trevor Ariza, but I think the rest of this looks good. Miami taking on the Suns. This is a terrible fantasy matchup. I assume everybody looks awful. Yeah, so Jimmy Butler, 9,500 on FanDuel, 9,300 on DraftKings, looking like the best option from Miami. Bam, a not close second. And then there's really just, it's impossible to want to look at Miami as anything good. I'm adding the Lakers because I realized I missed them before on the big chart. But here we are, summary of the first 5 teams. James Harden, quite clearly the top play across both sites. Nikola Jokic is second, not particularly close. Montrezl Harrell is third. I would say that Montrezl Harrell looks like a higher upside play at 6,800 on DraftKings than Jokic. Jokic is more consistent. David, there are reports nowhere that Jason Tatum is being traded. Literally nowhere. That's not a thing. The Celtics asking price isn't too high. There is no asking price for Jason Tatum. Think about what everybody has been traded for. Drew Holiday got like 5 draft picks. Like Oklahoma City would have to trade all of the stuff that they've acquired in all of these trades. There is no conceivable package to get Jason Tatum. There's nothing to Google, man. I don't need to see a fake website's trade on like BostonCelticsBlog.com. It's impossible. Truly impossible. There are 2 teams that have the ability to have enough stuff in the tank to do it, and I still don't think they would do it. Houston has enough picks. Oklahoma City has enough picks. Neither one of those 2 teams are trading for Jason Tatum. I'd bet my life. I wouldn't even think twice about it. As so long as like the payout was decent for me. Yeah. Anyway. Jason Tatum is like one of the 10 best things that you could have in the NBA right now. Everybody wants a 2-way scoring wing that's young and good. He's like he's what everybody is trying to acquire. I can't do this any longer. You guys I feel like I'm getting trolled. Oklahoma City. No, New Orleans. So you got me thinking about Oklahoma City's picks. On to the Pels. Oh, God. I need to do a process show for like logic and reason too, apparently, not just for DFS. So Lonzo questionable, Redick out. What's up with Lonzo? How old is Jason Tatum? Like 23 years old or something? People are crazy. Missed Sunday's game, strained left hip flexor. I've got him in now, so I'm going to leave him in. Yeah, we'll leave him in for now. That game is at 7:30, so we should have news. I can't even do this. David, that's an impossible trade. Truly impossible. Truly impossible. There's a 0% chance that they would be trading Christian Wood, Victor Oladipo, and all of their draft picks for Jason Tatum, and Boston would be like, sure. It's just, we're not even in the same ballpark of correctness. All right, so Steven Adams is getting back up into that 30-minute range, so let's do that. I assume they come at the expense of Jackson Hayes, because who the hell else would they come at the expense of? Zion's good. Nicola Melli saw minutes, but maybe that's just because Lonzo was out. All these minutes all seem pretty okay. Rates should all be the same, so I don't have anything to change here for New Orleans. This one will be interesting. So the Pels are 6-point favorites at home. No real big totals on this day outside of that Nets-Blazers game. Everything else is in the 220 range. Okay, so Zion is the best option from the Pels. Ingram's okay. Maybe we see something different for Lonzo if he's out, but not a lot to look at here for the Pellies. The Sporting News. What is this, 1988? The Sporting News. Did you hear that on the sports reporters? Wow. I really thought these guys would rank a little bit higher, but Zion is 5th on DraftKings, 4th on FanDuel, and then no one else is. Like, I guess Ingram is okay, but this slate is not. FanDuel in particular is not great today. DraftKings has a little bit more value with Schroeder and Jordan Poole and Jamal Murray, even Wiggins to an extent. FanDuel doesn't have that same sort of like cachet today. We're almost done, guys. On to the Knicks. 5 teams to go after New York. Anything interesting for the Knicks? I guess we're gonna have to make some changes to their rotation. Okay, so oh god. All right, Elfrid Payton questionable. Derrick Rose questionable. Awful. So Rose talked about how COVID was rough. I'm gonna assume that he doesn't play because he talked about how it sucked and how it was 10 times worse than the flu. So I think he might try to ramp back up. So we're going to give Elfrid Payton 26 minutes. I'm going to give the backup run to Quickly. RJ Barrett's minutes, I think, can hold at 34. So Taj legit didn't play. That's interesting. Even with Mitch back. So let's go. Wait. Does this go to OT? Yeah. Okay. So this should be 53. Okay, good. All right. So I think Mitch is going to play 20 minutes. I'm going to give Nerlens Noel the other 28. No, I'm not. I can't put Derrick Rose in yet until we hear something. He's questionable and hasn't played due to COVID since February 28th. This will not be the day that I just immediately put him in. He's been out for over a month, and Rose talked about how bad it was. I don't know, Tom. Probably. If I were Durant, I wouldn't want to play before the playoffs, but I wouldn't want to play for most of these studs. There's no incentive. The NBA is staring down the face of a real problem of a largely meaningless regular season. I'm hoping that in the NBA, it'll never happen, but I'm hoping that the NBA can get big enough that they can have some sort of promotion relegation set up, but that won't happen. All right, 24 minutes left. Reggie Bullock is just playing stupid minutes. I'm going to give him 32 because I don't know what else to do. I'm going to give Obi Toppin 12. I have 6 minutes left over for undetermined player. I guess it's probably, I mean, Julius Randle has played 41 minutes a game as of late. I'm going to give him at least 38. And then Frankie Smokes can just have an extra 4. All of these rates should be fine. Would I say that the Celtics would finish ahead of the Hawks? I don't even know what any of their records are. It's all meaningless. Let's see. Atlanta's 22 and 21. Boston's 21 and 22. No, I would favor Atlanta to finish ahead of Boston. I would guess that Atlanta finishes ahead of Boston. None of it matters. Who's my pick to win it all? The Lakers. Who were we just looking at? The Knicks. So for the Knicks, Julius Randle, 10K on FanDuel, 9,900 on DraftKings. That is the spot that you'll want to go because the New York Knicks play the Washington Wizards, and Randle in a pace-up spot looks fantastic. I think RJ Barrett is okay on FanDuel. Nerlens is okay on FanDuel. A little bit less so on... Man, the Knicks are the... So this is a matchup between the fastest and slowest teams in the league. Washington projects for an average 104.2 pace. The Knicks 95.8. Fun stuff. Oh no, I don't know which window I just jacked up. Did I jack them both up? Yeah, I did. I thought the Knicks would look a lot better, but because they're so slow, they can't even get the full benefit of facing the Wizards. It's crazy. I think the Lakers are a problem for Brooklyn if they're healthy. All right, so Julius Randle moves to the number 2 spot overall, passes Jokic on DraftKings and on FanDuel. So there's that. We'll keep this moving. 5 more teams to go. Orlando up first. This one has to be awful, right? All right, so everybody's in except for Ross, Bamba, Chase, and Randall. I'm so tired of this Orlando team, man. I gotta gut this entire rotation. Except for Vooch, 35 minutes for Vooch. Actually, probably need to go 36 minutes for Vooch. 12 minutes for Kem Birch. No Cole Anthony, obviously, but Michael Carter-Williams can get his normal run. I don't know why he only played 22 minutes there. That's not at all how I'm projecting him. So 28 there. This is getting murky. We'll go 26 minutes on Terrence Ross. Chase and Randall gonna play pretty minimally. Tricky team for today. We're gonna really need this news. I just assume that they're gonna look terrible against Denver, so I'm not all that worried about it. I gotta turn this fan on. I'm roasting balls in here. Candle's probably not helping either. All right, we'll give Fournier 34 minutes. Aaron Gordon 32 minutes. Aminu 24 minutes. James Ennis 20 minutes. Dwayne Bacon 16. All right, that should just be fine. Rates should all be okay. So for Orlando against Denver, First game of the night, so we'll have all this news. I like Vooch and Aaron Gordon a little bit, and that's about it. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Doesn't really matter what the minutes look like for Orlando. They all stink anyway. Is Gordon going to play? Yeah, he's not questionable or anything. Yeah, you've heard trade rumors for Gordon. I'd say that it's more than likely that he would play. Josh, there is no archive of boom bust. Brian, happy to have you here. And we're over 100 likes. I didn't even notice. Sixers, no Curry, no Embiid. So this should just be business as usual for whatever we had in here before. Although they did start Korkmaz the last time out. So I'm guessing that might happen again. Maxi's minutes seem fine. Tony Bradley's minutes seem slightly high. EMAC in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jeff, they don't have to showcase Aaron Gordon. He's been in the league for years. That's not how trades work. All right, I guess all these minutes seem pretty fine. Take one off of Thibault, give another one to Cork. Danny Green, for some reason, just plays a ton of minutes in these scenarios. It makes no sense to me. Shake getting even more minutes is something. Who do I need to take minutes from? Certainly not Ben Simmons. Certainly not Danny Green. Not Dwight. Not Cork. Thibault, Maxi. Boob, I don't even know what you're talking about. Let's see. What are we looking at? Philly. So for Philly, yeah, Ben Simmons, 8,200 on FanDuel looks really good. Tobias looks good on both sites. It's sort of a flip-flop. I prefer Ben Simmons to Harris on FanDuel, but I like them both. I prefer Harris to Simmons on DraftKings, but I like them both. Dwight and Shake are both in play. Brian, I honestly don't know. I assume that we are, but we haven't talked about it yet. But I assume that we're going to have to make some picks. I haven't looked at any betting lines yet, so we should have something out. It's obviously a little bit different, but I see no reason why we can't do it. Phoenix. So another team that I hope we don't really have to care about. Yeah, everybody is good for Phoenix. Abdel Nader is good. Everybody in. I'm going to cut Nader's minutes down a little bit. Kaminsky didn't play yesterday. They went to Langston Galloway instead. Yeah. Oop, I understand what you're saying. You must have missed the point when I said that I don't play or I don't pay attention to college basketball. I didn't know I forgot they played the moment after that conversation happened. So Cam Johnson played 16 minutes in his return. That's what we need to know. Cam Johnson, 14 and 5. So who gets these final 12? I'm going to give him the Galloway. Doesn't really matter. Cody, who formally requested a trade? Wow, there is just like no chance I'm going to be liking too much here from Phoenix. Phoenix against the Heat, terrible matchup. Phoenix is basically unplayable. If you get to a little bit of Devin Booker or Chris Paul, kudos. It ain't that kind of day. Boob, yes, he is. Aaron Gordon, if Aaron Gordon gets traded, he's going to get traded for a package that looks like what Covington got traded for from Houston to Portland. There's going to be probably 2 picks involved or a pick and a player. He is incredibly, incredibly valuable, as is Larry Nance. Keep an eye on both of those guys. They both fit the sort of same role. Aaron Gordon is good and will be very interesting on a contender. 2 to go. Portland. I wish I was going to be in the Savannah area this weekend. I love Savannah. Nurkic and Zach Collins. Everybody wants Aaron Gordon. Every single contender would want Aaron Gordon. Every single team should want Aaron Gordon. It's not that I think the Suns struggle against the Heat. It's that they have poor prices and it's not a great paced matchup. Yeah, that's Keith. That's about what he's worth. Projecting Portland is so easy. It's so much fun. When they don't have anybody out, it's just, it's like sleepwalking. Derek Jones Jr. I mean, they are yanking the minutes around of like the wings a little bit, but Portland against Brooklyn. So Cantor is like significantly less useful here. Yeah, the Blazers would also like to see Gordon on the Blazers. Boo, he has not been awful. That's just simply not true. If he were that awful, why would teams be lining up to trade for him? He hasn't been awful. That's the thing. Been hurt. Yeah, I think Boston's going to be okay. We got to let their whole team actually play each other, like play together. Their actual starting lineup has been fantastic in the minutes that they play together. If they're not healthy, then no, I don't think they're going to be good. But I feel the same way about literally every other team in the league. What am I flip-flopping on? Yeah, Aaron Gordon has been basically the best player on Orlando this year. On a rate basis, better than Nikola Vucevic, which I'm sure no one is going to agree with, but I don't really care. Portland, I don't really think I need to make any changes for. Well, I guess I do need to at least take a little bit of a look at Damian Lillard because he is popping like crazy. But he probably should. Portland is taking on Brooklyn. It's a huge total. I love Dame today. CJ, Cantor, Covington all look pretty good as well. If I'm the Wolves, it's a great fit for Gordon. I just don't know. They shouldn't be in any position to be trading assets. Love Dame today. Yeah, Cantor, you're right. The CJ minutes will be important, although might not matter. Yeah, Dame basically tied with Julius Randle. I see those guys as super similar, probably a half step ahead of Jokic, still behind Harden. Dame on FanDuel, though, 9,400, a unequivocal second best option today. We got to remember, the Celtics have a bullet in the chamber. If the Celtics go out and trade for Larry Nance or Harrison Barnes or Aaron Gordon, or they sign someone in the off of the buyout market, It's a very different team. But when Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Daniel Tice are on the floor, they've been fantastic. So that's where I stand. And by the way, I don't have a favorite team. I don't care about this stuff. This is all just data to me. No Bertans for Washington. We're closing it out. Jerry, if you hope that you don't get... I don't expect Aaron Gordon to go to Boston, but if you hope that he doesn't go to Boston, you must just hope that your team doesn't get better. We're talking about a guy that is tailor-made for the current day NBA. Yeah, the problem that they have when D'Lo and Beasley come back is that they're all not good. That is the worst situation in the league right now. And it's, to me, not even particularly close. I assume we're going to be liking Beal and Russ and nothing else because this is a massive pace down spot for this Washington team. All right, for the Wiz, final team. Do I have Russ under projected? I don't think I do. Looks like I'm going to be pretty light on this team. Beal and Westbrook are okay on DraftKings, but I think Russ for 11-1 on FanDuel is just criminally overpriced. Every team would want Cat, Brian. It's one of the best offensive centers in the game. Yeah, not much to like for the Wizards. So, guys, we are through it. 12 teams. Let us run some crunches, guys. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button. We got a little bit too into the weeds on some trade discussion. We might have to, like, make an extra time before the trade deadline to have some conversations here. Get me all the undersized one-way combo guards. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, let's run the first crunch. Optimal lineups on FanDuel. Are you ready? Let's check it out. This, I have no concept of how it's going to look. All right, here we go. Optimal lineups on FanDuel. Lillard, Simmons, Harden and Bruce Brown, RJ Barrett, Harris and Claxton, Tony Bradley, Montrezl Harrell. That is gross. That is truly gross. Yeah, I'm digging this. I like it. That's not the worst. You drop down 0.3 of a point. You swap out Harrell for Wiseman and Nick Claxton for Zion. I don't mind that. Power rankings time. FanDuel power rankings. As of 7:35 a.m. Yeah, that all looks about right. I'm not in a bad mood. I love talking about this trade stuff. You guys are bringing the, I don't want to say the goods. You're bringing like spoiled groceries to this discussion, but it's fine. We're talking about the thing that I love the most. The transactional piece of the NBA is something that I follow more than anything. I love the contract minutia. I love the logic of contracts and value and picks. I pay attention to this more than I probably pay attention to DFS. All right, here we go. Power rankings on FanDuel. James Harden at the top. Dame Lillard, a relatively close second. Bruce Brown in tier 3 with Zion, Nick Claxton, Ben Simmons, Tony Bradley. We've got Joe Harris, Bam Adebayo, Julius Randle, Schroeder, Kuzma, Wiggins, Butler, CJ McCollum. It's all looking pretty good. I don't mind too much of that. It's kind of gross. We're going to need some news, but... David, I don't know who said that he was, but I agree. Jason Tatum is not a top 10 player. That is not a criticism, by the way. He is ultra young and projects as one. Fresh Toast Vintage, he might be. He might be. All right, on to the DraftKings Optimal, which based on the FanDuel one, when FanDuel's Optimal looks a little weird, DraftKings is usually even weirder. Thank you, Jeff. All right, DraftKings Optimal lineup. 281.8, Tyler Johnson, Jordan Poole, Derek Jones Jr., Randall, Harrell, Harden, Covington, Claxton. That's gross. That's truly gross. If you're feeling froggy, you can swap out Derek Jones for PJ Dozier and get to the same place. That is a hell of an optimal. All right, let's look at power rankings. Dude, David, you are so wildly wrong. It's incredible. To compare him to Brandon Ingram is insane. That's a terrible comp. Jason Tatum is an above average wing defender. Brandon Ingram is as a truly terrible wing defender. You want to comp them offensively, that's fine, but the value is in the defense. Yeah, Brandon Ingram is a really bad comp, other than the fact that they both went to Duke. Oh my God, look at the power rankings for DraftKings right now. Would I take Brooklyn versus the field to win the East? No, I would not do that. All right, David. Best of luck to you in your future endeavors. I can't talk to you anymore. Jordan Poole, Tyler Johnson, and Nick Claxton at the top of the heap for DraftKings power rankings today. Oof. Oof. Poole, Johnson, Claxton. Then we step down to Harden, Harrell, Schroeder, Bruce Brown, Randall, Derek Jones, Wiggins, Covington, Dozier, Lillard, Joe Harris, and Jamal Murray. Woof. Woof. I am not excited about this. The problem here is that it's all relatively normal. Like, Tyler Johnson is $3,100. Nick Claxton is $3,900. Josh generally just likes sitting on the couch after that. Yeah, a lot's going to change. Not a lot of time. Like, it's a small slate. Jason Tatum currently, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15th in LeBron. That's a pretty solid ranking. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12th in wins added for the year. So a all NBA level player this season. Overrated. He's as good as it gets, man. He's 22 years old. He's one of the 5 best young players in the league. Hey, let's do this. Of people that are his age or younger, Jason Tatum has been the second best in the entire league, only behind Luka Doncic. So, yeah, not only is Jason Tatum never getting traded in this scenario, he is unequivocally fantastic. David, you are not adding these names up correctly. Brandon Ingram is not in a tier with Jason Tatum and Chris Middleton. Not even close. Not only is Jason Tatum not overrated. He might actually be underrated. Yeah. Of every name that I see on this list, I would take Luka Doncic ahead of him, and I would take Zion ahead of him. There's not another player in the league at his age or younger. Yeah, Jimmy Butler's making me look hella stupid this year. That's for sure. He has been on a completely different level. Man, just looking at this, the MVP race is going to be wild stuff this year, man. Embiid goes out. Jokic's team doesn't have enough wins. Nobody wants to vote for Giannis, even though he's probably still the best regular season player in the league. Rudy Gobert is going to get no love. He's going to win the Defensive Player of the Year award running away. LeBron James sprains his ankle. What happens there? Kawhi's having a sneaky great season and no one cares because he's on the Clippers. What a disaster. By the way, Brandon Ingram, not close here to Jason Tatum. Not close. Giannis is the best regular season player in the league. I have no problem saying that. He's been for 3 years. It's not me saying that he's the best player in the league, but Giannis in the regular season is the best player. His combination of offense and defense is really difficult to match. He doesn't miss time. He's always healthy. Could play a ton of minutes. He's a defensive player of the year candidate. I don't even think it's much of a discussion. It's a very different play in the postseason for him, but in my opinion, Giannis should probably be the MVP this year, and it's going to take even more injuries for him to win it. Shout out the B-Ball Index, by the way. Shout out the Monkey Knife Fight. 100% instant deposit match bonus of up to $50 if you use the promo code Awesemo when signing up. Yeah, that's the thing, King Hope. He doesn't have to, at least not in the regular season. You know, him being able to shoot in the postseason would be great, but you got to stop picturing Giannis like a guy that has to shoot. Nobody was mad at Shaq because he didn't shoot threes. You got to picture Giannis for what he is, not for what he isn't. That's the real problem in this analysis. Yeah, I think Jokic is... Denver's just going to have to finish a little bit higher in the standings is all. And I think that Jokic could win so long as he keeps playing because he's going to put up some volume numbers that are big. I don't think that Harden really has a chance to win it, barring any sort of ridiculous stuff, just because I don't think that people are going to reward him for that Houston stuff. Well, yeah, if he could shoot, he'd be great. If I were 6'10", I might be in the NBA. And the Harden doesn't play D thing has been pretty wrong for years. He obviously conserves for offensive possessions, which, by the way, that's exactly what he should be. He's one of the best offensive players in basketball, but he is not the same sort of defender. Like, Dame is truly bad. Steph is smart, but still not the best. You can't make up for size. And James Harden is strong, switchable, can guard a couple different positions. So while he may be lazy on the floor, you see Harden's problems more. He's a much better guy to have out there on defensive possessions because he could actually take different matchups. I think we're about done, guys. As much as I want to keep talking about this. Sean, that's the worst take. On Sean's awful take, I need to get out of here. All right, Sean and David are letting me go now. That makes this easy. That makes this easy. Guys, that is it. We are out of here. Bang. We done. Another day in the books, another process show in the books. I'm happy that you guys were able to join me. Please hit that like button on your way out the door. It helps me out a ton. Again, I'll be on the strategy show with Laffy this morning, so tune into that one at 10 o'clock. Keep an eye peeled for a PGA betting video. I assume Ben and I are still doing it. We haven't talked about it, but we'll have it. No live before lock for me today. I'll be back tomorrow and I'll be on everything. We'll have process show in the morning for a huge slate. We've got contenders videos tomorrow, contenders videos today too. Strategy show again tomorrow with Laffy, and then live before lock with myself and Greg. So it's going to be a big one, man. It's going to be a big one. These next 2 days are going to be a lot of basketball. So that said, thank you guys for joining me. You guys know the process is the best. I appreciate y'all. Best of luck today. I'm out of here.